popping, guys? I am Shanae, and if this is your first time here, welcome to the show. And if you're back again and you just been hanging in there with me, thank you so much. I absolutely love you. So today is going to be a really good show. All right. The title of today's show is Sis. It's okay to talk about sex. Okay. I mean, because how you think you got here? So today's conversation is going to be super candid, very much informational, but also too at the same time very much like perspective. So I have a wonderful guest that will be joining us. She is outstanding and is the perfect person to have girl chat with about sex. So I'm going to be asking all the questions you were afraid to ask and some of the questions that I got in my mailbox this week. So get you some wine, get you some tea, get you some coffee. It's pretty chilly outside. Get you a blanket. Let's buckle up and let's get ready to enjoy the show. All right. Be right back. All right, y'all. I have here LaRonda White. She is a bedroom candy consultant, has been with Bedroom Candy so almost 10 years, almost a decade. So I'm super excited because today's topic, as I mentioned before, is sis. It's okay to talk about sex, okay? Like how you think you got here. So this topic is about to be fun. I hope you grabbed your wine. I hope you grabbed your coffee, your tea, whatever you need because it's going to be a great time. So Rhonda, I'm going to let you introduce yourself because her bio goes and goes and goes. So I'm going to let her do the honors. Go ahead, Rhonda.
Hello, everybody. I am LaRonda White. I am the 5-star Diamond Team Leader of Team Rock Candy Divas and Dudes of Bedroom Candy Boutique Parties. Just recently, we were named the #2 team in Bedroom Candy, and I am one of the $3 million team leaders, a part of Bedroom Candy's first $1 million legacy, which means that I am connected to my two uplines who also achieved $1 million in sales. So that's who I am, Shanae.
Bow,
Thank you for
bow,
having
bow.
me.
So that's why I'm excited because I feel like if we're going to talk about sex and we're going to chit chat about sex, we might as well talk to the person who is involved, knows about intimacy, knows about the products, knows about all the things. And so this is girl chat. Okay. This is girl chat at its finest, but it's also girl chat with someone who has more knowledge. Okay. And can give us the knowledge that we need to be mature in our sex lives. So we're going to dive right in. Okay, so Rhonda, our topic today, I want to talk about the topic because the topic is saying, sis, it's okay to talk about sex. And I wanted to know, what are your thoughts on that? Because I felt like, as I'm even in my 30s, I feel like we are still afraid to have like a candid conversation about sex, even though we all doing it. So what are your thoughts on the topic? Just, sis, it's okay.
Um, I think the topic is appropriate because sometimes people do need permission.
Mm,
So I think right now where we are in today's climate, people are coming into their own. They're coming into this new type of independence, but then there are other people that do need permission. So that's kind of what we do at Bedroom Candy is we destigmatize
right.
sex because it's like taboo. So what I have learned is it depends on the person's background, and because when you work with people, you're building relationships with people, that means that you're being exposed to all kind of peoples. So I may be accustomed, or my background may be this, but I may be coming in contact with somebody who has a totally different concept. So I think this is a good conversation that is needed, and you're going to have to continue to have it as long as you're going to be around people.
Perfect. Okay. So one of the things that I did when I put together some of the visuals for this episode, I found a picture of Norbit. Do you remember the movie Norbit? Okay. I had Respucia on there looking, giving the face because
Yes.
I remember like when I was young, when I was a teenager, when I was preteen growing up, my mom was super conservative, right? So like even the mention of anything that's remotely sexual or intimate, she was like, she would right, like no, no, no. And so it almost kind of causes you to be, even in your adult years, you kind of don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So I think it's super funny, and I'll put that up on the screen for those of you who are watching and you want to see what I'm talking about. I'll share that picture of Respucia because that's what I think of when I think about sex, and I think about growing up and learning about sex. Because most of us, at least the people that I've talked to, they learn on their own.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think is one of those things where, like you said, is very taboo. So let's jump in. So Bedroom Candy. You've seen the products come, you've seen the products evolve, and you know about, what people say about the products. So with that being said, so what is one of the most like common misconceptions about Bedroom Candy, the business and the brand? Because of course, if I mentioned it to my grandma or I mentioned it to someone who isn't on social media, they may have thoughts at first. What are some of the misconceptions?
It's been the same for almost a decade. It's been the same that it's sex. It's just about sex. It's nasty stuff. It's freaky stuff. Oh, Candy's a freak. So that's pretty much what it was when I started. And that's pretty much, even as we have evolved over the years, what it still is initially, just from what people see or what they think they know.
Right. Okay. Because I can honestly say, I think if people, once you hear the bedroom part, it automatically throws you to the like, woo, okay, whoa. So, yeah. Okay. I can see that. So now we're about to just get into it because I got this question in my inbox. So if you're a person who, and I have to admit, guys, so before Bedroom Candy, I've been fortunate to be close to LaRonda and be her friend to learn about the products and intimacy along the way. But I too remind Rhonda, I don't know if you remember, but before, and this is before I got married, way before I got married, I
Mhm.
didn't know much about toys. I didn't know about lubricants. I didn't know about any of the things. So for the women who are maybe new to Bedroom Candy, maybe new to like the world of toys and intimacy, what would be your suggestion in terms of where to start? Like, what is a good starting place for those women who are interested in maybe having some, personal items, but maybe don't know how to go about it? What do you think is like a first step?
So it's funny that you said that because I was new to everything that you just said, even coming into this business. Ignorant to toys, ignorant to lubricants, just really ignorant to the industry. So that's a lot of people are surprised when I say that because a lot of people like to use that as a reason to not start the business or even coming in contact with people that's at parties that's like, oh, I don't. And I'm like, I didn't either. Like I
Right.
started this business not. But the funny thing about it is when I started this business, I was celibate. Okay, so that's one.
Mm.
Two, wasn't a toy user. So that's number two. So I would get that question as a new consultant, like, oh, which one do you like? Oh, what's your favorite? And it's like, but again, it's not really about me, but it's about the education. That's what I love about Bedroom Candy is the education piece of it. So this was my go-to that I would say, even not being a toy user, but needless to say, almost 10 years in, I had to like, okay, lady, you got to kind of tap into what you're learning and teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the like this has been from the beginning. You've seen this, you remember
Remember her?
this.
Yes.
Yeah, like every girl needs Kandi Kisses. This
Okay.
is the perfect starter. It's cute. It's the size of a lipstick. I actually have my lipstick right here. I'm gonna put them side by side. I mean, just a little bit taller. So that means I can put this in my purse. I can put it in my pocket. I can put it in my own personal purse that the Lord blessed me with. It's TSA approved. Like you can tuck it, so it's good on the go. It's a bullet. Every girl needs a bullet. So
Mm.
this is our version of a bullet. So it's nice. It's quiet. It's the lipstick for the lips down there.
Yes.
So like
Oh, that's so cute.
I mean, so this is like a good starter, not intimidating, not overly, like it's got 7 speeds, so you get to work your way up if that's what you want to do. But again, it's cute, it's not intimidating, it's a nice, so I hold it close to my heart.
Yeah, like a little safe
Yeah,
start. Yeah. So
yeah.
for those of you who are listening to us, so Rhonda is talking about like, so literally the size of a lipstick, literally, and it's shaped like a lipstick. When she say it's cute, it's cute. It's pink, which you know I love pink.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the perfect little size. 7 speeds is giving you some space to explore, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So that's good. So basically, that's for clitoral stimulation.
Well, now this is Kandi Kisses. I didn't say the name, so it's Kandi Kisses. So this is primarily clitoral, right? But you can go inside the vagina up into the pink, so
Okay.
you can get a little bit of internal stimulation. But it is strictly like clitoral. What I do like about our toys also is they could be from both people. Like, this is clitoral, this is my friend, but I can also use this on my partner because I can go up the shaft of the penis. I can go in that gooch area, the testicle areas. I can tickle. I can go around the head of the penis. I can put it on my jaw while I'm giving a little fellatio.
Mm-hmm.
So it's primarily for us, but we can use it with our partners too. So
Let's talk
but
about
yeah,
the goosh real quick because
yeah.
y'all don't know, but men love that goosh. So let's talk about where the goosh is. If you can kind of explain a little bit about where that's at, because y'all ladies really, I mean, not ladies, I'm sorry, guys really like that area. It's a very underrepresented,
Yeah.
whatever word you want to use. We don't really talk about it a lot, but that's a little trick.
We talk about it, but we don't talk about it because when we say where it is, then a lot of people are shutting it down. But again, the gooch area is also the male G spot. So, females, if you know what your G spot does for you, it's
Mhm.
the same thing for them. It is the area in between the anal and the testicles. So, when we start talking about where it's at, when we say anal, it's like like don't nobody else want to hear. So I don't know if we got to say the area behind the testicles to the anal, but it's not the anal area. It's that area in between. And like Kandi Kisses is a nice toy that'll go into that. So here's the thing, and I learned this in Bedroom Candy. That's why I love this community because the education is unmatched, right? So you got a partner that's like, stay from back there. Don't even think about it, right?
Right.
And even as females, we might be like, I ain't doing all that. Nobody's telling you to go, do all that. It's the male G spot. So again, when you're talking about intimacy with your partner, it's a communication. It's a connection that you have with your partner, right? So foreplay, you down there, you doing your thing down there, and just get the massage in that area. Especially if you get under those testicles, like that nice area. Like I promise you, they're
Mhm.
going to love it. So start testicles and ease your way into massaging the in between section versus starting at the anal and then trying to come to the testicles. But I promise you, I heard at convention one year, they was like, if you get in that area and you get the massaging and doing what you're doing, you will see them legs open up. So it's like, I'm gonna just be honest.
Oh my God.
Ladies, we are not the only
Woo.
one that are busted wide open. You will see them
Um,
legs open right on up because it feels good to them. It is their G spot.
okay, so this is the thing, because even me, I'm squirming and worming, ladies. I'm with you, okay, because it is something that if you haven't done it, and that's the thing, like it's not even really more so that we make it taboo. It's taboo to us.
Yeah.
But there is a whole other world out there, a community out there of people who are free in their sexuality and can do these things and are enjoying themselves. So we have to train our mind to be open to those things too. Even if it's not your thing, you tried it, fine, boom. But there's space to evolve. So I'm squirming and worming.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, I like the idea of working my way from the front, and then kind of, we can stop there and we can see what happens because it might be a little much, but that's okay. That's okay. So we can use Kandi Kisses back there. We can kind of, or right there. We won't even say back there because I don't want to be
Now
off
you
putting.
back here. Now
Yeah.
you back here.
I mean, so, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So Kandi Kisses would be your recommendation to start, like a
Mhm.
nice starter, safe space for our girls who may not be as you ain't there yet. So
Yeah.
Kandi Kisses. All right. So all right. Let's talk about. I got this question, and I think a lot of people feel this way, or a lot of women, even men, may feel like this. How do you introduce these things or introduce toys or things that you want to try to your partner who is maybe, say, a little bit more conservative, or let's say they're less experienced? And we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but or let's say they are maybe more religious. How do you start to introduce toys and freedom of sexuality to your mate? What are your
It is exactly what we said before. Like the intimacy between you and your partner is between you and your partner. So
period?
a lot of times it's not even so much of um it not being the right thing or taboo. Sometimes it's just what you think that people are gonna think about what you're doing. But what you're doing is your business.
Mhm.
So when you're introducing, so here's the thing, females, right? When you think about toys, you automatically thinking, oh, that's for females. You know, females use toys, that's for them, right? So it's already going to be like this consensus that the female is experienced or the female knows all about this. So there's a sense of intimidation, right? And if you are that female that has a great relationship with toys and you're trying to introduce your partner, you have to scale it back. Again, Kandi Kisses. You cannot come up in there with Mr. Mandingo. I'm sorry.
What do
You
you mean,
cannot.
Mr. Mandingo? Can you let's be
Well,
clear?
I should have brought vitamin D over here with me so you can see what I mean. Like you can't come up in there with this 7, 8 inch in length,
Woo!
2 inch girth. You know what I mean? I mean, you cannot do that. Because here's the thing, what I have learned in my experience, because I've dated on both spectrums. I've dated on no, we're not. And I've dated on them gifting me with something. And again, I'm not used to anything like this. So what I have learned is ego. If
Mm.
your partner shuts it down, now we might step on a little bit of toes,
Almost, you know.
but if your partner is like, it's ego. And there's two pieces to that. The first piece is ego because when they go to work, you in the closet or you using this toy, right? When they finish doing their thing, you pulling it from up under the pillow and you finishing it off.
That's
You
rough.
hurting their ego. Like, what are you doing? Or the other piece is it's the miseducation because they think that you prefer them over the toy. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that was my hesitation with toys, is because as a young girl, I heard people on several occasions that spoke about preferring their toys over their mates.
Me too.
I mean, and we talking married women, we talking newly married, and we talking people dating. So I'm a touchy feely, type of person. So I never wanted to get to the point where it's like, dang, I would want the toy over my mate. So that's what kind of stunted me in like the idea of toys. And my first toys actually came from hosting a toy party and getting like all of these good products. And I'm thinking, oh my God, okay, I get to explore, but again, that got shut down at the time with the person that I was dating. So I just never, I just never even kind of went down that avenue. But if you want to introduce toys to your partner, because I do believe toys are great. They are a great supplement or addition to your intimacy. One thing I like to say is we are not replacing the partner. That's not what we're doing. Okay. We are trying to get you to your 5 year, your 10 year, your 15 year, your 20 year anniversary, or even trying to get you the ring. Whatever. If you having a little sex before the ring, hell, we trying to help you get the ring, right? Because you need to start little. Kandi Kisses. And here's it's either three things when you're introducing your toy to your partner. You are going to use the toy yourself because they're visual.
Mhm.
Okay. So you're going to use the toy yourself and let them watch. Okay. You're going to use the toy together. So again, I'm using it on them, they using it on me. Or you're just going to say, here, honey, there's Kandi Kisses. Have your way.
Mhm.
So either you be the show
Yes.
You give the tool to them and let them explore,
Okay.
or you both, explore together. So if you got a partner that is not comfortable with you using it on them, because again, ego,
Right.
ego, because they go, I mean, it feels good. This feels amazing behind the gooch. It feels amazing going around the tip of the penis. Um, but give it to them, and then it allows them to feel like you're inviting them into your world. This is something you're doing together. It's not like, oh, I want this and just only this. No, we're doing this together. So, but you got to start small, and let them choose the toy. Like, get the catalog and y'all thumb through the book. Now, if he picked Mr. Vitamin D, okay, that's what he want. We're not gonna, argue with him. But initially, either you, if you're at the party and you want to take it home to introduce, start with something small. Or if you get a chance to graze the catalog, let them look in the catalog and let them decide what they want to choose. Here's a funny story. I had a party recently, and it was a bachelorette party. And she felt like she had lived. Like, I've lived, I've experienced, I am good. And she was marrying a conservative man. She was marrying a traditional man, like just old school, thinking. And so when we were in the ordering room, we were talking because she was like, okay, because she wants to introduce him. But then a part of her was like, but if we don't go down this road, I'm fine because I have lived. And so again, it's just a conversation. It's
Yeah.
a conversation. It may not happen initially, right? So one of the things that we talked about was what she's done and experienced. But then we started slow, like no toys involved. Let's just get some creams or whatever. So again, it's a process for some because again, it is a mindset.
Right.
It's a mindset, and it's ego, and it's miseducation. It's miseducation.
So okay, so because that's okay, that's good. So one of the things though that I do want to touch on, even though this is not even part of it, but you said it. So, but she was willing to say, "Oh, well, I've lived, so if he doesn't want to, I'm okay with it." But like, so this is just a little perspective, my perspective as a woman. We got to be careful because if you are a woman who have those desires, right? If you are sexual, if you enjoy a certain thing, right? And you say, well, that's okay, he doesn't, so I'm not going to. And you get married to the person, you in for a little bit of trouble because you can lie to yourself. But one thing about it is we all have our needs. We all know what we want. We know what we like, at least initially. And so for her to say, I'm willing to forego those things because I've lived, are you really willing to do that? And are you doing yourself a disservice by not really asking or having the conversation about how to meet in the middle? Because one thing about relationships and sex, married or not, if you are in a relationship with somebody, it's going to require a conversation about what you like and what he like in order to be successful, long term. So, I mean, when you said that, it made me think about even the need to have these conversations. So when it comes to introducing your partner to toys, it might take a couple of conversations, or it might take a very thorough conversation to say, look, this is what I like, this is what I need, and then have him understand that about you. Because I mean, otherwise, are you going to be happy? Are you going to be happy
Well,
long term?
it's tough, right? Because generations before us, women didn't have a voice.
Mm,
So women didn't have a voice in whatever the male wanted, didn't do. That's what went, right? Whether we liked it or not, we just laid down and just whatever happened,
so all I'm thinking about is Celie laying
Yeah,
on the belt, shaking on the
yeah,
baby belts.
yeah. So and this wasn't a much older, married couple, but so it's so many different avenues that you have to address when you're coming to this crossroad. Like again, what was that culture or that background? Which, she did share with me. She had been exposed to sexual, sex at an early age. So she was, I guess, what you would call experienced, right?
Yeah.
So like you said, in that relationship, communication is going to be important in the growth, right? So this may be where we are right now. But there has to be continuous communication, because again, I feel like if this is what you need to satisfy your desires, then you're going to be seeking that. But again, he's okay with her using the toys, but this is something she wanted to do with him. So I think women too, we are finding our voice,
Yes.
because you should be able to say, okay, this is what I need, this is what I want. I would like to do this with you. This is what I don't like. This
Right.
don't feel good to me. How can we figure this thing out? Because it could probably be something they like. It feels good to them. So we can eventually get there, but it is the baby steps. It is baby steps, but it's communication. Communication is like, it's key. It's key.
Okay, so look, okay, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about it real quick. All right. Okay, so all right, y'all. Speaking of a voice, we got to be honest too. Like, if you are not getting what you need, you're not being satisfied, and he's doing the same thing, right? That you think that, and he think he doing it too, Rhonda. That's the thing. Like, going back to men and their egos, like, a man could really be thinking like, I'm doing it, right? Because, like, think about when we were younger. When you're younger, they watching whatever videos, they cousins telling them all these things that they think is the thing.
Lying.
Like, first of all, one of the earlier things that we all need to sit around and admit, okay, girl chat, right? Let's go ahead and admit, didn't nobody want nobody's fingers on them? Like, that is not, they done been out dirty. Like, and then they got your fingers, and then they just doing, that was not okay. But yet now you didn't tell him that you don't like that, and now he's still doing it. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are we doing this to ourselves? Why are we? That doesn't even feel good. Like, why are we doing that? Right? Like, but he's doing it because he thinks it's working and he thinks it's good. He thinks he's doing something and ain't doing nothing. Okay, nothing is happening. But yet you going along with it. Just like, again, young boys, they getting in there, they're counting it up. I'm a woman.
Right. I'm pink and fluffy.
On me. Like, take your time. Like, like, even just being attentive, right? Like, let's think about as a woman, right? Men, they watch a lot of videos and they're visual, right? They're visual. So they might like the vibration or what the movements look like. But if that's not what you're feeling that day, because, we might want a little rough, here and there. That's fun. But for the most part, like, you might want him to take his time. You might want sensual type of kisses. You might want, delicate touches. And yet he coming in there, he pound town, and you getting them, knowing that you don't like it. First of all, abrasions have happened, okay? Damage has been done. And then number two, you getting up and you just like unsatisfied. I mean, honesty. Like, I think honesty to the core of having a healthy sex life, you have to be honest. And even as a married woman, I like what you said too about relationships. So, because if we think about it, if you're with somebody long enough, if you're blessed to be with somebody long enough, you're going to experience the changes with each other. I may have liked that in my 20s, but this body is in his 40s now. I don't like that. Don't do that.
This leg cannot go way back anymore.
No, I can't. People be like, you can stand on your feet, and I can't. My knees are able.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, but again, that situation is the female that once they're snoring, they're pulling Kandi Kisses from up under the pillow. They're going to the bathroom really quick. You know what I mean? Like, before he gets home from work, they're, because she know he gonna be coming in there ready to hop on a,
yes.
So let me go ahead and, well, again, communication, because here's the thing, communication, it's not gonna hurt their feelings because you're not leaving, right? You're not, now if it don't, that's what I'm saying. If it don't fix itself and you never talk about it, And it just keep, but like if we can, like you only can respect a person. That's maturity. You
Right.
only can respect, because it's vice versa. There may be something you're doing that they
Ooh.
may not be satisfied with. And
Ooh.
maybe you need to pull the teeth back or use a little, or get some ice cubes on side the bed. You know what I mean? Like, here's the thing. We all think we know what we doing, right? We all think we like, so they pound, 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 but we think we, honey, what her name is? Superhead. Like, honey, listen, back good,
Oh
you
my
know.
gosh.
But no, it may not be that arch. It may not be
Yeah.
that archy. Yeah, like you might need to go 45-degree angle. You know what I mean? Maybe you need to go back a little bit, like, like so.
Oh, that's so good, Ron. Okay, wait, before you even go, so let's talk about that. So you saying, so because what I'm hearing you say, sis, what I'm hearing you say is that we all might be performing, thinking that we all might think that we're performing at an A standard, but we might be a little bit more on a C plus.
Yeah, yeah. Here's the thing: there's always room for improvement. So that's where bedroom candy comes in at, right? Like, it's the enhancement. It's
Right.
the something different. It's the, using a little cream, using a little vibration, or something that's helping you touch or give a different, feel to the relationship. Because again, it's just an enhancement. It's just like the lipstick we chose today. It's just like the hairstyle that we chose.
Yeah.
It's just like the J's you choose to wear today.
Yes.
Or, are you going to grow your beard out, or are you going to have your mustache, or are you just going to have a goatee? It's just an accessory. That's all it is. Nobody's trying to replace you, bruh. Nobody's trying to replace you, sis. Like, it's just an accessory. But again, there has to be conversation, because even for that person that feel like, if I got my toy, I'm good.
Mm.
Or it's a conversation, it's a mentality. It's a mentality. That's it.
Okay, so because we've opened up this can of worms, I'm going to keep this can open
These
real.
worms jumping.
They're jumping because I think too, like, so okay, so we all know that there have been many celebrities who have, maybe we've heard of, and I hate to do this, I love you, Nia Long, but the situation with Nia Long, right, where he stepped out on her and was in with, another woman. We think about Halle Berry. Halle Berry has been cheated on. Like, we think about Beyonce. Beyonce has been cheated on, and we automatically connect that back to his desire for another woman, right? We think about, like, you better do this to keep your man at home. And so, what are your thoughts on? Is it, because I mean, that's a deep subject for sure. But I do think that part of being on the same page goes hand in hand with the communication of knowing what your man wants, knowing what you like. Because if you do nurture the intimacy there, I do believe that that's another level. It takes your relationship to another level, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we know that if we're really honest, sex ain't gonna keep a man.
No.
He not,
Say it again for the people in the back.
sex ain't gonna keep a man. It's not. So we're not saying that, you need to be like all the tricks, all the things, getting all the, no, that's not going to keep a man. But what it will do, in my perspective, what I believe, it could possibly take it to another level so that that area in your life and your relationship is one that's strong,
Right.
So,
well, the thing is, intimacy isn't just sex.
Right.
Like you said it, like intimacy, and everybody's different as to what makes them tingle and what makes their back, do the little wiggle wiggle. But intimacy is all things. It's the conversation. It's the way you look at me. It's the way it may be the food you cook for me. You know what I mean? It may be what you do for me. It may be what you say to me. So the sex is just like the cherry on top, right? And one of the things I always ask in my parties is, does size matter? Does the sex matter? Because again, intimacy is not the actual act. It's
Right.
not the doing. It's not the sticking. It's not the licking. So if we get that part figured out, like, again, everything else is just a plus. Everything else is just an added bonus on top of that. But again, I think it comes with just the maturity. I think it comes to just your willingness to be vulnerable because again, your connection, that vibe that you have with your partner, like there's just it's endless. It's endless for them, it's endless for you. And again, it's about exploring, it's about learning each other. You know, you got to learn yourself first. They got to learn themselves and then together. But sometimes you get people that don't know themselves.
Yeah.
So that's where the bumps in the road may be coming from. Is just I don't even know what to tell you because I don't even know myself.
Ooh, okay. So speaking of which, because this is not this episode is not going to be a male bashing. No,
Yeah, no, no.
I actually think that this is a good opportunity to help us level up. So because in my experience, my friends, a lot of us can be pillow princesses. We don't want to get in there. We don't want to do. We don't want to do nothing. I'm just here. Like, we don't want to do
Take
anything.
me.
Yes. I mean, but then is that right? Because then at the end of the day, you're not owning your own sexuality either. You're not owning the moment. And then are you really giving him an experience?
Right.
Because just like we are thinking about our experience, because we are harsh. Okay, I'll raise my hand and say I have been one, and I am sorry to those who might be watching in my past. I have been one that I was very critical as a woman. Like, I just always felt like if I'm going to give myself to you, then that means that I have an expectation, right? But then at the same time, what are we doing for the one that's the one? Because you can't, like, so you've been in a relationship with somebody for a long time. What are you doing? How are we helping to like foster that fun? Because going back to intimacy, it could be, how do you smell? Are you putting on some perfume? It could be, are you rubbing his back? Are you touching his beard? Like, are you, stroking his head? When you walk by him, do you touch his back? Because I know for me, if I'm in the same room and I got the leggings on, you better come by here and brush up on me. You see this? What? What you said? Huh? Like,
Yeah. No,
honest?
no. You're being honest.
So like,
See me. See me.
see me, touch me, but we got to remember that, going back to what you said about the ego, the male's ego is far, to me, is even more fragile, okay, than a woman's. Like, a male, it can be, he can go from being a hero to being a roach.
What a bug.
To a hero to a water bug in a matter of seconds. In a matter of seconds. Because of what we either said or we did or how we responded. And it's the truth, y'all. It's the absolute truth. So like, what are we doing? What can we do? Like, what do you think? What is your advice to, like, just in all honesty, as a woman, being real about what we tend to do and take for granted in a relationship?
I think it's true. I mean, you gotta know your partner's language, right? You do have to know your partner's love language. I think it's important. That will solve a lot of issues.
Yes.
So, and sometimes people hear that and like, what love language? What you talking about? Ain't nobody taking no tests. But I mean, like, unless you are educated in that to be able to identify it, like, you really, if it's something, because again, you got to work towards this. It's constant communication and constant work. Like, you just don't get in a relationship, or when you start this relationship, the intimacy is at this point and it's just like, okay, I know it. No, you gotta work. You gotta work at that thing. And I think what you said is true. That male ego, it can go from 0 to 100 real quick, and from 100 to 0 really quick, because of the masculinity, because of what people have said that the man's supposed to be and he's supposed to portray, and he has to do, so a lot of times they don't want to show their vulnerability, especially to their partner, especially to the person, and here's the thing. Let's help the people. You don't have to always go in the bedroom and beat it down. That's what we're saying. There's a time and a place for the beatdown, right? It's a time and a place. But again, there are times where just go slow. Just like let's enjoy the moment. So I think sometimes as women, we can forget because we do so much. We got so much going on. But we just have to be intentional. Like you have to be intentional on those things that you want to see grow, you want to see prosper. You gotta we plant the seed, but we got to make sure we go back and continue to water that thing. Right. Sometimes we got to prune it a little bit because maybe it's growing a little crooked. So sometimes you got to go prune that thing a little bit, but
stick to it, put the little string around it.
We can go up. but yeah, so we just got to be committed to doing the work and just committed to your partner. And like, if that's what you want, if you want that to grow and you want the longevity, like we got to work. We got to do the work.
I love that. So speaking of us doing the work, because I mean, ladies, I'm gonna sit on us. I'm about to be on your row, like Rhonda say. I'm about to be on our row for a little bit, and this is for me, because even after this episode, I'm gonna make sure some things happen tonight. So like we gotta. This is some things that we wanna help the people. Mm-hmm. So speaking of like, what can we do? Because again, we are empowering ourselves. This is for women. We are empowering us. So, and I don't want to hear nothing in the comments about they don't ever do this, they don't do that. This is for a man who deserves it. Okay. Like we know when we have taken things for granted, and we know when it's time for us to step up to the plate. So if this is you and this is your situation and this is for you, grab something from it. So we might not be like Rihanna, right? We might not be like Rihanna where we ain't never have to use lip gloss on it, okay? And lip gloss, ladies, is lubricant, right? We might need a little lubricant because one thing about men, they can go fast. They are ready and willing at any moment. They don't need a whole bunch of conversation. They don't need the dishes to be washed. They don't need the house to be clean. They don't need the laundry to be washed. They don't need none of that. If we say we ready, then they're ready. Okay, but the reality of it is it's not like that all the time for women, at least not for me. I am a woman who requires a certain level of attention. And it might not be all the time, but for the most part, you got to kind of come to me. You got to give me some time to like really get into the moment, and you have to set the tone. So when that happens, one thing I can say in using Bedroom Kandi products, I've enjoyed learning about the benefits of having a good lubricant. Because let me tell you something, it's not only for us, it's for them. So I want to talk about that because when I think about us taking an extra step, if we have this lubricant, we can use that to kind of to treat our guys, to give them a little treat. So let's talk about some of the lubricant options that we have through Bedroom Kandi.
So I like that, Rihanna says that. And again, it's the miseducation, right? It's the just the learning, because we all got the Niagara Falls. We all got that wet, I know it's just sliding, it's just running down your legs. We all got that slip and slide. But in Bedroom Kandi, we say the best sex is wet sex, or wetter is better. And if you ask your partner, I don't care how wet you get, how slippery you get, how juicy you get, if you ask your partner, they say they like it slippery, juicy, aquafina, like just flowing, right? So the first thing is lubricant is for protection first. Like that is what lubricant is for. That's the intent. That's the indication. Is to protect the vagina. Is to protect the penis. Okay. So now that we done got the protection out the way, the next thing is it is for that enjoyable, that extra slippery, just and it feels good, right? But then on the other side, you may have some people that got medical issues, like maybe menopausal or medication or stress, right? And again, sometimes it takes us a minute. You can't just come in here and be wanting to knock, like you say, pound town. Okay, no, she got to wake up. She tired. Okay, yes. So yeah, so lubricant is for protection. So it's not to say that because I use lubricant or because I choose lubricant that I have a problem getting wet. I have a problem getting moist. No. Just like we get up in the morning and we moisturize our skin and we moisturize our bodies and our face and make sure our skin is nice and viable and bright and, like ready to go and not cracked, putting those ingredients and vitamins back in because the elements of the world is destroying it. Same thing for the vagina. It is to protect the walls of the vagina. It is to protect the lips of the vagina. It is to protect the penis once it goes into the vagina. And one of the things I love to do is I love to play this lube game at my parties. And it's just simple. You take your fist. This is the vagina or the anal area. You take the penis or the toy or whatever, and you just try to go in, right? You try to go in. And you might get the tip in, you might get the head in. And I always tell people, keep it tight, keep that vagina tight now. This is consensual. We ain't taking nothing. But keep that thing tight. Don't let that penis in. That the resistance, those are micro tears to your vagina walls. Those are micro tears to your lips. That resistance, we all know when they trying to get it in there, we trying to get our legs open, and we trying to, then they get the pulling them lips apart like that, trying to get it in there. Then they don't mess around and let them. You better not. You better not. You better not put that bacteria in my vagina. But we've grown from that. But that was lubricant, right? That was the lubricant. So why not use something that's formulated for your vagina that doesn't have no bacteria in it, that's going to protect your vagina? Because again, so when I do the party, so now I'm going to put some sleek in this good old vagina. I just put a little bit, and I'm gonna take that same penis, and it's gonna glide in there. It's like I have people that's like, I don't want to take my finger out. What you think the penis feel like? The penis don't want to come out of there.
Well, I'm speaking from experience because sleek is my favorite.
Yeah.
You put that in there, it's going to be 2 seconds.
Listen.
It ain't going to survive long in there.
I mean, so it's like that penis in there without that lubricant. Now that I got that lubricant in there, it feels good to me.
Yes.
Those walls feel good to me. Yes. I mean, yeah, if you got moisture and you got your secretion, I mean, yeah, that vagina is, it creates its own like type of lubrication. But again, it's the protection. So sleep, this is 100% silicone. Marathon, long lasting. So for my ladies that are going through menopause and they like, I mean, I just cannot, I'm just so dry, or they taking medication, or you just want like long lasting non-drying, because we know if they is in there and they've been, they feeling some type of way and they don't want to come out of there, that vagina, sometimes she'd be like, wait a minute, you can't even make enough juice to keep up with, that animal. So sleek, it's 100% silicone, so it's going to keep you moisturized. But then also, maybe, we just talking about spicing it up. Maybe you want something edible down there, so you getting protection and you get a little bit of edible. So this is our delicious encounter. This is the green apple, right? So what I like about Bedroom Kandi is our lubricants or any of our liquids are paraben free, they're glycerin free, and they're hypoallergenic, right? Made in the United States. Even with Delicious Encounters being an edible lubricant, like the amount of aspartame in there is so limited. They don't have to put it on the back of the label, but they're very transparent to let you know what's in the product. So they list everything. So, and this is funny because I always talk about Shanae at my parties. I don't call her name, but I say, I got a friend that needs to be in a bubble.
Money, too.
Yeah, I'm like, my friend needs to be in a bubble. She is allergic to chlorine, the sun. Honey, you look wrong. She might just break out.
Yes.
But my friend can use Bedroom Kandi products because that's just how sophisticated in the quality of ingredients that they use. So I like edible lubricants because not only just for vagina, lubricant, it goes well with a nice hand job.
Yes.
Sometimes we be on that eggplant and right, and it mess around and have an eruption. Now you might be using a little bit of that sticky stuff, but if you got some lubricant, listen, it might not take as long because
That's
now
smart.
it's changing the consistency of that stroke. You're able to get and massage that bone like you need to.
It's art. It becomes
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
It's
Then you mess
ballet
around, take
again.
that thumb and go. Wait, take that. Come on now.
Squeeze the little
We're
tip.
just trying to get you. Listen, I'm just trying to help you.
I receive it. I receive
I'm
it.
just trying to help you. Lubricant is my friend, okay? Lubricant is my friend.
So let me say this because I was that woman. Okay, I was that girl actually because I was probably in my 20s at the time. But I mean, Rhonda was like, "Sinead, you need to be using." I'm like, I don't need no lubricant. I'm into it. Like I didn't want to. I didn't. Plus, I told him like I'm allergic. I'm allergic to everything. You can use this. Well, by that time I had met Pringle. By the time I started listening, and sleep was, I still to this day, like, it's our favorite. And I'm not lying, like, y'all, because like she said, like, for me, if I want to, we're talking about putting in more effort, right? If we want to put in more effort, we need to, don't just let him come in there and you put pillow princess. Like, give him a little bit of something. We talking about foreplay. Give him a little bit of, give him a massage. Like, go ahead and get that out, put it in your hands, and y'all, again, ballet fingers. These are called ballet fingers. Spirit fingers? No, ballet. We're ballet fingers on here. Okay, just, and it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So for me, it's been a game changer. And like you said, it feels so good. Like for me. So remembering we're empowering ourselves about what do we like, because right now, like, you might think you know what you like, or you might be unsatisfied in your relationship right now. So we want to test out things that we like. So like you said, Rhonda, we need to know what we like, know what we want. And that might be a good way to start figuring out what you might like, because that might take you to another level. So it ain't about how wet you get, because it ain't even that. It's really more so like the, honestly, I feel more connected too, in a sense, because it's like the immediate, right when it goes in, it's like, whoo, and then I'm like, whoo, it's happening together. You're not waiting to get that moment, and he got it. It's together, and that's when you have, really, to me, the best sex is when you have both of you are experiencing it on the same level. Because I think we all know when it's like he enjoying it, but I'm just like, okay, that ain't fun. That's not deep intimacy and connection. And, that's not what we want. We want to level it up. So I love that. And don't worry, y'all, we're going to create a little list, a little cheat sheet, a product list of all the things we're talking about today so that we can make it easy for you to shop these products, because we know that they're going to be game changers and we're going to be looking forward to hearing the testimonials. And if
Yes.
you have a baby because of us,
I love them. I love bedroom candy babies. I do.
my name is Shanae. Middle name is Nicole. You can name them Shanae. I'm okay with that. You can name them LaRonda. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lachey. If you want to name it after both of us, Lachey. But I wanted to go back to the Pound Town when you were saying they was beating it down, and then you like, ooh, you hurting for 2 and 3 days?
Yes.
It's because you didn't use lubricant. It's because you didn't use lubricant. So you're hurting because you got those micro tears. Now some bacteria have gotten in there. Maybe you got a little vaginosis. Now you done got a little infection down there, because again, you're opening yourself up for, again, the elements of the world, right? Just the element. You're using the bathroom, we're, putting our underwear on, and we wiping too hard, and now it's irritating those micro tears. But if you had that lubricant, because I can remember, and they thought they was doing something. We like, oh, he told me up.
Right.
Literally, he did. Yeah, he literally told you up. Yeah, so yeah.
He told you up, all right. It's
Yeah, he did. Literally.
So, okay, so I hope you guys are enjoying it so far, because I am. This is really good. So I want to get into a topic that is near and dear to me, because I'm a mom, and so I understand. And Rhonda, I'm sure you can remember the feeling of after you have a baby, you kind of have to, like, relearn. You have to like relearn your body, get used to your body again. There are a lot of elements of that newness that you have after having a baby. Even down to like, of course, embracing our new bodies, because after you have a baby, your body is not the same.
Right.
And we have to become, and that's a whole nother episode, which we'll have to talk about that too. But being okay with your new body is one of the steps to getting to that space to be free in your new body. But the other part is, how do you go about sex after having a baby? And if you were like me with my first daughter or with my first child, I tore, like I was ripped up so bad from the root to the tooth. Okay. I was tore. So I was very, very scared to even go back to a place where that could even, I don't even want to look, I don't even know how baby's made no more, because I was so afraid of what that felt like. It was terrible. But more than that, I noticed my sex drive changed. And
Mm-hmm.
I've had several conversations with new moms, Rhonda, and they say the same thing, where it's like, I just don't want to. Like, I don't even have the desire to. I don't wanna. Like, and so I do want to talk about sex drive, because that is something that's real. And even if you aren't a mom, let's just say, going back to medications, because they do that as well. Medications can change your sex drive. Stress. I love that
Mm-hmm.
you mentioned that. Don't nobody, that might be the last thing you want to do if you're stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
Or for some people, that might be all they want to do. But the point is, that could be, sex drive is something that we don't talk about honestly enough. And we have to be, if we can be transparent today, let's talk about sex drive. And what does Bedroom Candy say about the sex drive?
Yeah, like you said, it's so many different factors that affect the sex drive. My son 25, so my body has been changing for 25 years. I haven't seen that body before him. It's been 25 years. And I was a young mom, right? I was a young mom, so even at that time, I'm really kind of new to like coming into myself, learning who I am. So that really makes a difference in what your expectations is for sex. I would probably say I was maybe a pillow princess, prior to motherhood, or not being vocal or speaking, in the bedroom. So I think like after that, it's just that empowerment of yourself and just like learning who you are. But I think with motherhood, it's so many things. But like for me, if I have to think about you're thinking about your new baby. I got a new baby. I want to take care of my baby. I gotta feed my baby. My baby is a breastfed baby. So now you got leaky breast. So not only is it just like sex, you got milk dripping from your breast when the baby cry, so and you got this body that's changing, and you got this little person now that needs you. So that's a whole nother level of stress that you have added on top of that. And again, if the mind ain't right, the
Mm-hmm.
mood is not right. Like you can try to get into the mood, and again, it's about communication, right? And a partner that understands, and sometimes you might have to have a conversation with them because maybe they don't understand,
Right.
because they're not going through what you're going through. They're not feeling what you're feeling. It's We have hormones, like our hormones are all over the place. Like it's just so many things that happen in a female body. Just bringing life, carrying a baby for 9 months, and then to successfully bring this child to life. And now you got this whole other responsibility, but again, what I didn't know then that I know now, self-care is very important, right? Self-care is very important. So we got to learn to start taking time for self. If you are privileged in that area where you can have a moment, and just if it's just a moment, to an extended moment, whatever you can get to just kind of pour back into yourself, if that's just sitting in quietness, having a glass of wine. But then I get it, some people don't have that privilege, like they don't.
In the event that we're in a space where we want to, maybe try to stir some things up, and we don't want to like do hormone therapy, or we don't want to have to like, do all these different things, what products can we possibly use, or what can help stimulate that sex drive?
So one of my favorite products that it's a top seller, lot of reviews. I even test it out at my parties. Ignite Me. This little bottle is 1 fluid ounce. This little bottle is 1 fluid ounce, TSA approved, so this can go in your check luggage. So if you got a quick work trip or overnight trip, or you're not taking no check luggage. You're not checking any luggage. You just taking your carry on. I'm sorry. You can put this in your bag with your Kandi Kisses. So this is a clitoral arousal gel.
I'm gonna get closer.
The Lord blessed us with the click, ladies. The Lord blessed us with a click, and it only has one. This thing. The click got one job. That job is arousal. Okay, that's it. Arousal. There's 8,000 nerve endings in that clit. Okay, or some call it the man in the boat, the clitoris. And you'll be surprised. A lot of people don't know where their clitoris is. So that's another issue with intimacy, right? But you just put this on the clitoris, rub it in that clitoris, let it absorb this product. What happens is it's going to pull the blood flow to the tip of that clitoris. Anything that touches that clit is taking it to the 10th power.
Wow.
If it's a finger, if it's a tongue, if it's a toy, if it's a penis, if it's a piece of paper, or even if you blowing, if you're blowing, think about it, because it's sensitive. It's sensitive, right?
Yes.
So this, and I like to call this the crop pot to the clitoris, because again, we're not always ready. So rub this into that clitoris. It's going to simmer me up into that moment of when I'm done, right? Either you put me on low cook or you put me on high. So this is so every clit is different, right? So some people may put this on their clit and they may immediately, but then some people may put this on their clit and it may take a little minute. But I also like to accompany it with the sweet spot. So if you want a little edible, a little tasty, this is a honey flavored warming foreplay gel. So what I like about this is one you can put on any arousal zones. So penis, nipples, vagina. If you got a toe fetish, behind the ear, if you're behind the knee, you rub this on. Okay, rub it on. Yeah, wherever. You blow it, and when you blow it, it's going to warm up. And then you lick it. And when you lick it, it's edible. So these two together, right? This is the stimulator. This is the enhancer. But this is also the enhancer too, because it's going to warm to the blow. So what we doing? Like, it's a firework ready to happen. But here's the other little piece, because I knew I was going to have to show y'all this. So confidence, right? Confidence. One of our new products that we got. So I don't put my Ignite Me on. I even got my sweet spot on. And I walk in my bedroom with my body stocking on. I ain't gonna show y'all all of it.
That's cute.
I'm just gonna let you get a peek of it.
I love it.
I got on a jacket. I got on the jacket. This is an interview. This is professional. But
yeah, I'm here for that. Because you know what? All I'm thinking about is trench coat action. Okay? Period. Like, y'all. So if we're talking about stepping it up, Rhonda, because that is super cute. I love like the black on the black. Like, all you need to do is put on a little red lip or some type of lip that you're comfortable with. Put on a little heel if you want to. It's about the visuals, right? We said it, like, men are visual. So you got the Ignite Me, we got the sweet spot, and then we got the body stocking on.
And here's the thing. Confidence. I don't even have to take the body stocking off, because it got a hole in the middle. So I don't even have to say anything. Listen, I don't even have to talk. Huh?
Can I get that before this weekend? My birthday coming up.
And you can. Listen, I don't even have to say anything. All I got to do is, again, my confidence is going to precede me.
Yes.
That's it. That's it.
Okay, because we running out of time, and this conversation is this is a good conversation because when we talk about confidence, that's another piece. That's like actually one of the biggest pieces of this whole conversation. Y'all, it ain't about like, so you remember my husband and I, we did an interview and he was talking about stretch marks and cellulite, all the things that I was worried about for years. If you come in there with the body stocking on, okay, period.
Fupa, stretch marks,
Cellulite and all. He ain't
25-year-old baby weight.
Period. Like, he ain't worried about that. So if we really were to own the moment, own ourselves, like, because we can create whoever it is we want to be. We have to remember, like, it's a mindset thing. And once you put that thing on, maybe get you some wine. Get you a little bit of wine. If you don't drink, then just, meditate first. Visualize it. Visualize yourself at your best. And then being your best. Like, so let's stop pillow princessing, okay? Let's stop waiting for them to come in there and do something different when we said what we wanted. Let's stop not knowing what we want when it's 2023, about to be 24. And we got bedroom candy options out here, okay? And Rhonda is going to, at the end of the show, she's going to tell us a very special treat that she's doing for our audience, which is amazing. We got too many things at our fingertips to not take control over our sex lives. We have too many things at our fingertips not to own our sexuality. And not only that, like, honestly, at the end of the day, y'all, like, the moment is now. Like, today is the day. Like, today is the day to say, like, I'm not going to do yesterday. That was cool. I was all right with the same move. I was okay with the, just laying on my back and letting you be done. But today, I'm not. Like, today, I want more. And then go ahead and do it. So we're going to make sure you guys have all the products. We're going to make sure you know that we have the list for you ready to go so that you can shop our products. But what I want to do before we leave, I want to make sure you guys are plugged in with us on social media. If you are not, follow me at the Pink Elephant _ by Shanae on Instagram and on TikTok. Rhonda, where can everybody follow you?
On Instagram, I am Bedroom Candy by LaRonda, and that is BEDROOMKANDI by BY LaRonda LARONDA. On TikTok, I am the LaRonda White. So the THE, first name and last name is White, WHITE. Facebook, LaRonda White. You'll see the Bedroom Candy information. Yeah, I mean, that's where I am.
So thank you so much, Rhonda, for joining us. There will be a part 2 to this, and we're going to go live and we're going to talk about it. So be sure to tune in with us because we also have our Bag Talk with the Pink Elephant conversations live on Wednesdays. At least it's Wednesdays for now. So we're going to continue a part 2 of this this week. And we're going to dive into more about Bedroom Candy. How can you become a consultant? How can you have a party? Y'all, Valentine's Day is coming up. Veterans Day just passed. You don't even need a holiday to have a good girl time. Like, we got to get together, have more of these conversations in person, figure out how to have like more community, get some women involved who are able to share their experiences freely and very comfortably in the same room and have fun with the Bedroom Candy party. So we want to make sure that you guys have all the info for that. So make sure you join us this week. We're going to go live. We're going to talk more about it. We got a part 2. We got some more questions. And because we'll be live, feel free to jot your questions in the chat because we're going to be talking about it all. All right. But Rhonda, thank you so much for joining. Guys, this is the Pink Elephant Podcast. Again, we love you so much, and we will talk to you later. Bye.